Hello and welcome to Top Plays. I am your host, Blue from KantoCast, and this is the series where we take a look at some of the best plays from the weekly matches during Season 5 of the GBA. The final week of the regular season might soon be upon us, but Week 11 came in strong, and holy Arceus, there were some plays this week. Clever maneuvers and risky gambles were the name of the game this time around, so let's take a look at some of the best action from Week 11. Scald is irritating, we all know that. It's decently powered, many Pokemon have it in their move pools, and although it only has a 30% chance to burn, it seems like it has a much higher frequency to inflict the crippling status affliction. You know what else is irritating if you're not prepped? Gastrodon. Minimal weaknesses and bulky stats make this thing tough to handle. All good reasons as to why it's on the Loudred's team. But, if you're the Seekings, you realize that the only way to beat an irritating move on an annoying Pokemon is to send out an equally frustrating Pokemon itself. In this case, Porygon 2. Though it was a little late in the game, the Seekings realized that Porygon 2 could trace Gastrodon's Storm Drain. Porygon 2 is sent out against an incoming Scald, and after tracing Storm Drain, gains a special attack boost. Porygon 2 is then able to 2-hit KO Gastrodon and survive a knockoff from Weavile after that to take it out as well. Porygon 2 would go down after that turn because of accumulating toxic damage, but not before taking out giant defensive and offensive threats on the Loudred's team. These slick maneuvers proved to be too late in the game, however, as the Loudreds would eventually go on to take the match in a close 2-0. Genie vs. Genie is always a spectacle to behold. First turn Genie vs. Genie is cray. Wait, are the kids still saying cray these days? Anyway, it happened this week during the Donphan Pyranitas match, and cray it was. I mean, who doesn't love a first turn knockout? Here we have the Donphan's Landorus in against the Pyranitas Thundurus. The Pyranitas think there is no way Landorus is staying in, and yet, stay in Mr. Man does. Landorus takes the knockoff with ease, and in return, Oko's Thundurus with a Rock Slide. A tough turn 1 loss for the Pyranitas, and the bad luck would continue throughout most of the match. But a firm stand turn 1 pays off for the Donphan, who went on to clinch the match 4-0. Zapdos has been an amazing member on the Morel's team this season, and this week it is no different. We start out by seeing Zapdos come in to take a Dark Pulse from Shiftry on behalf of the Arcaniners. Zapdos can take the hit easily, and next turn fires off a discharge against the incoming Rotom. Rotom, not taking the hit too well, goes for a Shadow Ball, but Zapdos easily shakes off the damage after roosting and getting some leftovers recovery. Knowing that the Rotom is choiced in some fashion, the Morel know that going out into Braviary would be the expected play. However, the Morel take the less obvious route and decide to stay in and attack with Extra Sensory. Surprisingly enough, Zapdos catches an incoming Nidoqueen with a super effective hit, and it deals out massive damage to a pretty big win condition for the Arcaniners. The next turn it revealed that Zapdos actually outsped Nidoqueen, and it was able to take it down with another Extra Sensory. In 2 turns, Zapdos is able to take out a giant threat on the Arcaniners team, as well as a massive obstacle in the way of the Morel's victory. As such, Zapdos helped the Morel go on to win the match in a 4-0 fashion. The Many Faces of Ditto has proven to be quite an impressive display this season. Although it can be a bit of a gamble in terms of being a Pokemon to have on your team, the Giantes have definitely shown how beneficial it can be in certain situations. This was displayed yet again this week, when Ditto took the form of a Victini that KO'd original Victini, and became a Mega Aggron that the Rampardos had no late game answer for. But perhaps the coolest moment was when Ditto took the form of a +2 Heracross. How'd it happen? In the Giantes' words, Swaggeralysis. Blissey was able to get off a Thunder Wave and a Swagger onto Heracross before getting OHKO'd by a Stone Edge. Then, Ditto comes in and copies the stat changes. It does end up getting a KO onto Heracross 1, but it was a crit. Whether the crit mattered or not, Ditto proved its worth this game, picking up multiple KOs while coming in at pivotal moments throughout the match. Ditto helped the Giantes go on to win the match 3-0. And here we are at this week's top play. We've seen some risky behavior already this week, but none that have been risky frisky, as the coach of the Long Island Reggie Rockies put it. Yes, this week's top play comes from the Regirocky's Deoxys match, and it was bananas. Excelgor gave a whole new meaning to the term suicide lead. The Regirockies led Excelgor, the Deoxys led Gliscor. Turn 1, the Regirockies decide to put it all on the line and go immediately for Final Gambit. Gliscor, however, did not protect as Gliscors sometimes do, and Excelgor has enough HP so that Final Gambit will take it out. With Gliscor eliminated, the main physical wall on the Deoxys team was gone, and the Regirockies were able to bring the offensive pressure. This ballsy play paid off in spades, and helped clear the way for the Regirockies to earn a well-deserved 2-0 victory. And once again, it's time to crown the reigning top play. Last week, Sub-Up Lucario appeared to challenge Gift-Giving Scizor for the title, but went home empty-handed. Gift-Giving Scizor was the clear winner last week, but with Week 11 ending, we have a new contender for the crown. Will Gift-Giving Scizor refuse to give up the crown, or will Risky Frisky Excelgor kamikaze its way to the reigning top play? #bars. You decide by casting your vote via the straw poll link in the description. And while you're down there, feel free to stop by the comments section and let us know what your top plays of Week 11 were. It might be a good idea to do that, because you never know what will happen. That's as specific as I'd like to be about that ominous statement. But that's going to wrap up this week's top plays. I am KantoCastBlue, and I will catch you next week with more top plays from Season 5 of the GBA.